Yes, gracias.
Welcome back.
Okay.
The only thing that is worth adding to the chart analysis we've done before is that you'll notice that the third lord, Saturn, is joined Rahu over here in Pisces, and that is certainly not a very welcome position in the chart. Because it means that the third house is having a Saturn-Rahu yoga on it, right? What's the Atmakarka again? Jupiter. So from Jupiter, the fifth house has Saturn and Rahu. Okay. See, the thing is that people with Atmakarka and Lagna, most of the problems they see in life are self-caused. Because whatever they have done, that's the results they see from it. The houses will be the same from Atmakarka and from Lagna. So this guy truly is a king.
Because his past life?
No, because this person, when they act, they have done some things which cause the problem. He runs a huge newspaper agency. So whatever gets printed out there is actually a sign of political motivation also.
Oh, maybe that's why there was a...
So whatever they write and print, whoever they, speak against, obviously they'll react.
Yes.
So he does that. In fact, his company owns a huge number of newspapers in India. Most newspapers in India.
I have a question with regards to this chart.
Yes.
We mentioned that Ketu were these terrorists who did this attack in 1999. It might be a very rudimentary question, but even we call it Ketu and terrorist because it's headless.
Yes.
But sometimes terrorist acts are very well thought out and very well done.
Well, we're not talking about the act, but the reason for the act.
Oh, okay. But then what about the Indian freedom fight and freedom fighters in another country?
Same.
But they still Ketu.
Same. I mean, why would you burn a building off? To scare people, right? Okay, so there's some chaos associated. Cause chaos, to cause scare.
Yeah.
So that's why we also look at Ketu. So now, let's see. Karakamsha, Navamsha, Lagna Lord. In the last few examples, we have used another technique, which is to identify the Lord of Karakamsha Lagna instead of the signs alone. Point is that the Lord will show trouble coming as a reaction by an external agency. In the dog bite case, the native kicked the dog and the dog reacted. In the terrorist fire newspaper office, it is rumored that the newspaper had exposed some powerful businessmen who had retaliated. In cases of trouble from the sign occupied or aspected by the Lord of Karakamsha Lagna, it is invariably a reaction or retaliation. You do something and you get something in return.
Cause and effect.
Cause and effect. However, in the case of Lord of Navamsha Lagna, the trouble arises by internal and not external forces. Further, it is never retaliation but can show mistakes, wrong application of intelligence, etc. So, there was the one case when Navamsha Lagna was the same as Atmakaraka sign. So the Lord of Atmakaraka is also the same Lord of the Navamsha Lagna. So wrong application of intelligence could have arisen also in this context. Right? Also. Still we have the Karakamsa showing what you did. And the results from Navamsha are showing what was the effect on you. How do we do this? Yes, okay. Okay. We're still discussing Virgo. I would like you to analyze Virgo from the perspective of health in this case. Does Virgo occupy any significant place in this chart with regards to health?
We're looking at first, 6th and 8th for health, right?
From Atmakaraka. Atmakaraka is Jupiter, is it? Jupiter. Jupiter is in Sagittarius.
Yes.
Well?
It is with Lagna Lord. Yes.
Virgo is with Lagna Lord, alright, yes?
And it's Parivartana with Mercury in Lagna.
Parivartana with Mercury in Lagna, alright. Is Virgo associated with the 6th house from Atmakaraka?
Not Not really.
6th house from Atmakaraka is Taurus.
Taurus.
Venus is
and-
not occupying Virgo.
8th
8th house from Atmakaraka is lorded by Moon,
Lagna.
and it's not in the Virgo.
Mm.
Atmakaraka sign itself is Sagittarius, and Jupiter is not in Virgo. Alright, well, where then to look? Look at 4th house from Atmakaraka, that is Pisces. Is Lord Jupiter in Virgo? No.
Mm.
8 from Lagna.
8 from Lagna. Are we supposed to analyze 8 from Lagna? Only first 6 to 8 from Atmakaraka.
Mm.
Quite specific.
Well, 8th house from Atmakaraka is Cancer. Still no connection to.
We said that just now. Then 4th house from Navamsa Lagna.
No, I'm sure about that.
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Are Saturn or Rahu linked to Virgo strongly? They're not in Virgo. Finally go to the Moon. 4th house from Moon.
Is Mangal.
Mars
Oh, yeah.
in Virgo.
Yes.
Ah. Okay.
Yes, but now I don't understand why you said specifically 6th and 8th from Atmakaraka. And 6th from Atmakaraka are the ones who we are troubling.
Yes,
and
because of that you
is-
see a result, an effect, negative effect.
And the effect comes in 6th from, for example, if we observe it separately, 6th from Lagna is what causes troubles to us. I mean, what we suffer.
Yes.
And in the 6th from Atmakaraka is what we are causing suffering.
Yes.
So why would diseases be only from Atmakaraka and not from 6th from the Lagna?
Good point. Good point. If we do use that logic, it does make sense because the 6th lord from Lagna is Mars, and Mars is placed here. That's right.
Okay.
Yes. But see, the idea is all suffering comes in one form or manner because of the Atmakaraka, first and foremost. The Atmakaraka shows which actions you have committed in past life due to which you are going to have an effect in this life. That is why we analyze that first. And you must also keep in mind, if we start treating 6th and 8th lords in Navamsha for disease, what do we do about the Rashi? Because we have to use the same principles therein. So the 6th house in the Navamsha, it can be very good. It can be showing your work, your occupation, what you're doing for work. 8th house from Atmakaraka can show the things that are dealing with health, going to hospital, overcoming illness. It has more to do with doctors and hospitals in the 8th and the 12th house and the 4th house from the Navamsha Lagna. So the cures can come from the Navamsha Lagna, whereas the illnesses are coming from the Karakamsha, Karaka Lagna.
What illness is what's going on with the
Here,
person?
in this case, the 4th house from Moon has Mars. And he has nervous system disorder. He had at least. He had difficulty walking because of it also. He was in a wheelchair. Okay. Am I right? Do you know about this? No, his father was in the wheelchair. He just has the disease. Yes, that's right. He has a nervous system disorder. His father went as far as going to a wheelchair.
He's not had it.
Hmm?
I've never seen him in a wheelchair. I heard about that.
Yeah. No, his father had.
But he is one of the richest men in the world. Right now.
Can we see that? Why is that? Atmakaraka Jupiter. How do we analyze that?
It joins Navamsha Lagna.
Atmakaraka Jupiter is in 2nd house from Navamsha Lagna in this
Spirituality.
chart.
Spirituality.
Spirituality, yes.
Yes.
Spiritual person.
Yes.
Goal of the Atma, spirituality. Okay? What do we have to see for a link? A link between the Navamsha Lagna and Kendra to Atmakaraka. Correct?
Mm.
So where's the link? Navamsha Lagna is
Lording.
Scorpio. Exactly, Lording. Who are the lords?
Mangal.
Mars and Ketu.
Mangal is one over here.
Yeah,
Kendra
he's
to
in
Atmakaraka.
Kendra to
Kendra to
Atmakaraka.
Other Ketus joined Atmakaraka.
Yeah.
It is assured he will be very wealthy.
Because Atmakaraka is in Kendra to Navamsha.
Because there must be a link between the Kendra to Atmakaraka and Navamsha Lagna. So either the lords of Navamsha Lagna are in Kendra,
Or
or
enjoy.
the Navamsha Lagna itself is in Kendra to Atmakaraka.
So that's Raja Yoga.
Enjoy.
Raja Yoga.
Yes.
So when you see any yoga in the Rashi chart, check this in Navamsha. It's a small, simple rider. If this is there, it's there. Otherwise it's not.
Happy time.
So how do you confirm Raja Yogas? See Navamsha.
Wow.
And there's an association between the Navamsha Latna Lord and Atmakaraka.
Yes, that is why. Navamsha. That's what Ognian was saying.
Yeah.
One Lord Mars is in Kendra to Atmakaraka, one Lord Ketu is joined Atmakaraka. They are both in Kendra to Atmakaraka. That is superb. That is Raja Yoga.
Ah, but his is like
No.
crazy Raja Yoga.
Yeah. Do you know why it's crazy Raja Yoga? Because not of this Mars, but because of this Ketu. If it is joined Atmakaraka, then you go from a humble beginning to rise to a very, very high height.
That's what I was referring to. Raja.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
This Mars is giving Raja Yoga, but it's not that level of Raja Yoga. It's not that high. This, however, this Ketu joined here, exalted, right?
Yes.
Exalted, right? Joined Atmakaraka. That is the Raja Yoga.
And look at his age, he's so young still.
Yeah. What was it? He bought a jumbo jet for his wife
Yeah.
as a
No,
birthday
no, it
present.
was one of those
Oh.
A380s.
Gentleman indeed.
Refurnished fully so that she could travel with all her wardrobe and everything.
Because everyone needs a
And not just, all those seats. No, all the seats out, refurnish it, 2 floors, 2, 3 floors, put everything in. So his wife could travel nicely and happily when she wanted.
That's a demanding wife.
Ketu indicates up in the air, flying. Yes. Sagittarius also has to do with such things. Sagittarius.
And Jupiter.
And
Jupiter.
this Ketu.
Perfect.
I like to fly too much also. My Atmakaraki utility.
Yeah, but Ketu. So you should, see if you can find a husband who can give you a Boeing.
It's
Jumbo
actually an
jet.
Airbus.
Airbus, my mistake. It's bigger than a
Yeah,
Boeing.
the biggest one as far as I know.
How many floors does it have?
7. It's 7 floors high.
7 floors
Next
high.
to a building, it would go up 7 floors. But I think it only has 4 floors inside.
No?
But that's still a lot.
7 floors high and 4 floors inside.
What, for just her alone, I mean, she ever lost
He has his
away
own.
in there?
After he bought one for his wife, he bought one for himself.
So they could go together.
Yeah, in separate flights.
Amazing, huh? How much money do people have? And they're from India.
And how I missed it. How you justify this nervous disorder problem?
Nerve disorder, not
Nerve.
nervous. Nerve.
Nerve.
Mars is in 4th from Moon. The body is seen from the Moon. The 4th they're from can show problems therein. Mars is
Yeah,
here.
sorry, yes,
So
okay.
in the work, this has also happened, okay? Too much enjoyment of this nervous thing can cause this to happen. Okay? This Mars is causing Raja Yoga and it's causing a disease.
Is it important to do something?
Yes, yes, but it's more external. How, is it very afflicted? Rahu and Ketu afflict, that's plus Mars, 3, correct? Then we have Venus, Moon and Jupiter, 3. So they cancel each other out. So there's a disease, but he's getting help for it, so it will never be very severe. But it's there.
But shouldn't it also show in his Rashi chart then?
Yes, it must. It must. But recommendation. Some of the diseases seen here are very important diseases because these can cause death. In the Rashi chart we have a disease which just continues for a long time. But here it can cause death. Okay? It can also be something very sudden which happens in your life.
Amazing.
Raja Yoga.
Which one of them are more rich, him or his brother?
I think Mukesh is the richest by far. Is it?
Because one owns
More
owns-
successful, isn't it?
This is the one with all the refineries. The other one owns the telecoms businesses.
I don't know.
Reliance.
Yeah.
The 4 house from the moon show Datu, right?
Datu.
Yeah.
What do you mean Datu? Death?
No, March, example,
The
blown Datu.
No, yes, Majja Datu. Yes.
March Datu.
They will all show some relation to the Datus. The Sapta Datu.
Yes,
You just have to find which graha is there.
blown in this case.
Yes. But from Atma Karaka it doesn't show this.
Uh,
Datus are not indicated by the Atma Karaka.
no. only from the moon.
There's a problem with the gati itself. Mukesh Ambani. Mukesh Ambani, the eldest son of Dhirubhai Ambani, has Scorpio Navamsa Lagna with one Lord Ketu in exaltation, joining the Atmakaga Jupiter in Sagittarius. I must tell you, there's also a lot added to his Raja Yoga because of that exaltation. A lot. Even if it had been debilitated, it would also be a lot. Not that. Okay?
Would it be more in debilitation?
But it's both ways. The other Lord Mars has a Parivartana Raja Yoga with Mercury, the 8th and 11th Lord, thereby making it negative, because Mercury is also 8th Lord, proving your point. Mercury becomes positive and indicates his exceptional business acumen. Mars in Virgo threatens overweight problems in addition to fires. So he does have overweight problems also, which are associated with Virgo. Fires are indicated by Virgo also. Skin problems are indicated also. Reliance Refinery Complex at Jamnagar was hit by a major fire at 10:40 a.m. during Scorpio Lagna on the 25th of October 2006, on a Wednesday, when Mercury had just entered Scorpio and joined the moon there. The fire was put off in 2 hours when Sagittarius Lagna rose. So he has a problem with Scorpio Lagna. So that means Mars is not giving the effects, but Mercury is giving the effects because of the Parivartana. So we cannot expect it to be Mars, but Mercury.
Does it mean that then every time the Mercury enters Scorpio,
That happens once a year. But certainly the year itself must be problematic. Saturn's transit should be problematic. In this chart, we have seen that the Lagna Lord is involved in the accident. And it is an internal problem like inadequate engineering, safety parameters, etc. So that means the intelligence is not working on his behalf. Okay? Good. You want to add anything? Seventh house. Labhe.
Labhe.
Vanijam.
Vanijam.
So Labha we've seen before. We know it means 7th house. La is 3, Bha is 4. So it becomes 43 and therefore 7th house or Libra. Libramsha, Libra Navamsha indicates trouble from trade and business. Now see here, he only says Vanijam. Vanijam doesn't mean trouble. If you translate this literally, Vanija just means trader. Somebody who does trade. Merchant. So, we have to derive that if they're evil planets, malefic planets, it's negative. Positive, it's positive. It can be very good for trade. Parashara adds skillful trader dealing with or making robes. Because another meaning of Vanija is one who works with making clothes. Okay?
This guy before he had the moon and Venus, Rahu, Sri Lagna in 7 from Karakamsha.
Yes, he did. He did. However, keep this in mind. When we look at 7th house in general, we should be looking at the Shamsha to see if you have a business. You could be working in a business based on Navamsha. Libra can indicate that. You're working in a business, for example. Or in 7th house in Navamsha. Even that 7th house in Navamsha cannot indicate anything you're earning from. So we're very specific in saying it's more appropriate that we look for Libra in this connection, if it's in Navamsha. Okay? Because 7th house in Navamsha indicates that which you want or like or love, but you are not earning from it. Now, Maharishi have introduced a new way to study the Navamsha chart as they speak of business and trade from the 7th house or Libra. However, we know that the 7th house of Navamsha Lagna deals with marriage and the spouse has been explicitly taught by Parashara. Therefore, they are not talking about the 7th house from Navamsha Lagna. It is from the sign Libra we shall know how well a person does in business and whether he has problems in his trade or career. Mahalakshmi Puja and Diwali are celebrated when Sun is in Libra. In a similar vein, the other signs can also show the profession that a person is getting into and how well he does in this or gets into troubles. That is the luck aspect. All professions give. I'll be able to read less and less here.
Because it's blurry.
Yeah. All professions give good or bad luck depending on the planets in the signs, in the Navamsha, and of all graha generally. Generally, moon associated with the sign of the career, the Atma Karaka or 7th house, or the Lord of Karakamsa promises social success in career. To this I add, wherever the moon is indicates what you are starting. If you're going to start something new, something the world has never seen. We call moon's Navamsha the Shankha of Jagannath. The Shankha, the conch. They say you're supposed to blow that before puja. This is the Shankha of Jagannath, the moon. So wherever your moon is, we call it Shankha Rashi. Good thing to note down. Shankha Rashi is moon's Navamsha, or Shankha Amsha. You could find some odd names in the nadis. This is Shankha Amsa, moon's Navamsha. If this in turn is associated with the Atmakaraka, that is, or the Lord of Atmakaraka, that's Karakamsha, or the 7th house, it can promise social success in its career.
What is meant by social success?
That means that you have Facebook, basically. You're interacting with people. They're interacting with you. Social success. There's a lot of networking going on. Social success. Got it? The moon gives the Facebook blessing, as we call it. Alright? The moon. You need a strong moon to do something like this. Like Facebook, for example.
Yeah.
So let's see the father of Mukesh Ambani, Dhirubhai Ambani. Let's see Libra Navamsha. Moon is in Libra Navamsha. Very nice. It is relevant to point out that we look at the Shankha of Jagannath, this Shankamsa. That the first house for moon is the fortune. Now, which of the houses should we look at? Moon is all about Kendra. Right?
4, 7, 10.
Exactly. So fourth therefrom will indicate maybe death, maybe health, that we know already. The 7th is going to indicate the desires one has. And the 10th is going to indicate the low tide, that which is not so high, not so strong. So let's see. Where's Atmakaraka? Mars. Is moon in any way connected to Mars?
Lord,
Lord
is with Mars, Shukra.
Lord Venus is with Mars. Right, dispositor. Dispositor of moon is with Mars. So this means the dispositor of moon Venus is with Mars, and Mars is Atmakaraka. So there's some Raja Yoga going on here, right? Social Raja Yoga, right?
So
But real Raja Yoga requires Navamsha Lagna or Lord of Navamsha Lagna in Kendra to Atmakaraka. He has both. So Lagna is in Kendra to Atmakaraka, and the Lord is joined Atmakaraka. It's not just in Kendra, it's joined. What did we say about that in the previous chart? If the Lord of the Navamsha Lagna is joined Atmakaraka, you will rise from a humble beginning. This guy was the one who was selling maize on the street. And one day he became one of the richest men in India. And do you also recall when we did this chart, we were looking at Dharapada and Mars in this chart. And we saw his Rashi chart. So that Atmakaraka is doing everything for him. You have that? What do you have?
The dispositor of the Lord of Lagna Lord in Navamsha, in Kendra to Atmakaraka.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Moon, is it associated?
Yes?
Facebook. Okay.
Facebook, yeah.
So, now note this. Please note this. This is what he's starting in life. The dispositor is Venus joined Mars. And Mars is here in own sign in the 7th house. And it's also Atmakaraka joined the Lord of Navamsha Lagna. So he's starting something related to Venus and Mars. Right?
But how can he earn the 7th house? You said
This is the dilemma. The Lord of Navamsha Lagna has joined this. Which means it's Raja Yoga. Okay. What he's earning from, however, What he's earning from, however, is seen from the Dharma Trikona or the Artha Trikona, right? For example, where is the Lord of the 10th house? One is Rahu here, one is Saturn there. Okay? So Saturn can indicate oil, Rahu can indicate mining. He does both. He did both. Didn't he?
And also, Rahu is also refining stuff, right?
Refining, yes. That would be actually, he's refining raw materials. That's more Saturn.
So petrol, is that Saturn or Rahu?
I'm pretty sure it's Saturn.
Why?
Because it's derived from oil. It's still the same material.
So oil would be Rahu.
Why?
Because-
Mining is Rahu.
Because it's derived, but so many things come out of.
But it's the same Saturn.
Okay.
Rahu is just indicating another activity he's doing.
Okay.
Some type of mining activity, drilling activity. He's earning from that maybe.
Wrong. But see, there's something I don't understand with this connection. The
Yes.
connection with Rahu and Shani. It's both something that's underground, right?
Need not be with Saturn, no. It can also just be landed property without
Okay,
anything.
cool.
Sorry, no property, just
But
land.
petrol is a Shani from underground.
Yes.
Something old which has been refined becomes petrol, and you dig it up, you
Yeah.
refine it and sell it as petrol.
Raw materials, yes.
Cool. But
But
at the
this-
same time, we say that Rahu is chemicals.
No.
Then I got it wrong.
But the shani is the way how you get it, but actually the essence of the petrol is that it burns.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's its essence.
But do you
So it
derive
should be
pure petrol from the ground, or do you get crude oil?
You get crude oil.
crude oil, which also burns. I mean,
It does burn, right?
it's a power, it's an energy.
Stability
It could
means
be.
something here? Shani?
It can infer either a lot of it or very little of it.
Which one?
Well,
Shani is sun.
What do you think?
Crazy amount.
Crazy amount is what he
Why?
got. Just keep in mind here, there's also a link between this Atmakaraka and this. Now, try this. That Saturn is debilitated, right? So it means very low, low beginning. Does it get Nichabanga?
Yes.
From who?
By Mars, by Venus.
Mars and Venus.
There's Sun.
Where's the Sun?
No, it's not receiving anything from Sun. Just
Only Sun is not giving him. So Venus and Mars, see, the Lord of this sign is in Kendra to Lagna. The Lord of its exaltation sign, Kendra to Lagna.
So in these
Sun is
dashes,
the exalted one here, but he's in third house, so not so much there. And this Venus and Mars is his Raja Yoga. So
in
this
these
is
dashes, he
pulling
can-
out that Saturn with a great Raja Yoga. You start low, you rise. That's what's indicated here. And with full strength of the soul. This could also mean that you see, Sun is the one who's not granting him. So this means politicians could go against him. So the only way he can change this is if this is in Kendra to Moon. It is. What does he do then? He has, they say that he used to have a lot of invitations from ministers to come and visit him. And as a gift and a token, thank you for coming, there would always be a nice suitcase waiting in the exit.
for
And we can
money.
only wonder what was in that.
Just a suitcase, you take this, thank you for coming, so happy to you to come. Thank you for blessing our home. Thank you. And for some reason, all the laws were passed in his favor. Okay.
Of course, we're not telling anyone that he was bribing anybody.
Notice, Raja Yoga is guaranteed. He started with textiles. Okay, textile materials themselves. Vanija refers to also one who is dealing with clothes. So the moon is in Libra. After that, did he go into oil? Because he went backwards. He took the textiles, okay. Where do we get the textiles from? Get a textile mill. Then where do we get the textile, where does the mill get its textiles from also? Then we go back and back until he started going to the core and getting to the oils themselves that were used to deal with some of the clothes, to make the clothes. So he went
Synthetic
backwards
clothes.
until he got the whole industry in that line.
Horizontal integration.
Yes. That's what he did. So it didn't start with oil, it started with textiles. Venus, Vanija. Now this is a... In the previous chart, he started a huge business. Okay? Huge business. It was indicated by Venus joining the Atmakaraka. And that Venus-Mars yoga, what is that showing? Did you know Venus-Mars yoga can show a person who is causing a lot of comfort to the world? You
By
did?
itself? No.
It can, yes. It can give a lot of comfort, a lot of Raja yoga.
Mars Venus.
It's extreme, that's the point. If it's just Venus, it's comfort. Venus-Mars, extreme comfort. Bollywood comfort, we call it. Okay? Very extreme, very posh. Now watch this chart.
It's Osho's chance.
This is Osho's chart, yes. Where is Moon?
Libra.
Libra. Should we look for Raja Yogas? What's Atmakaraka?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Is Navamsha Lagna and Kendra to Atmakaraka Jupiter?
The Lord is.
The Lord Venus is in Kendra to Atmakaraka Jupiter.
Hmm.
So Raja Yoga?
Yes.
Ah. Now, Venus is what he is starting, correct? Because it's dispositive moon sign. Again.
Yes.
What is he starting if Venus is debilitated joy in Rahu?
Oh.
Have fun times.
Conflicted. Mars by Saturn by Rahu.
See, we cannot blame him. This is what he will start. It's in his karma. And if you know the stories, he didn't support much of this, what that was going on. He started out very nicely, the Ajivika philosophy, people took it to them. It was very pure, it was very clean. People were doing Namah Shivaya, everything was there. Then he went to the US. Some foreigners came into the picture, some foreign ladies specifically. They started taking over a little bit in the organization. Of course, he says, I don't know how things are done in this country, so somebody else has to do it. Then what happened? Little by little, it was taken more over. Then they started introducing new methods of ensuring that they got their spiritual, spiritual benefits, such as introducing laughing gas during meditation. That's how they started. Then they started putting it in the showers to ensure that people were still on their high trip, even when they were showering. And some people died. And there were also some other funky things going on with Venus over there. In the ashram, you can only imagine. So what are you starting? Yes, you got Raja Yoga, but what is this? He never got into textiles, but did design and wear some fine diamond-studded robes and had 100 Rolls-Royce cars. We need to just take care of the lamp, I believe. Ranka, could you just? This is a different kind of business and not something that will have social sanction. Right?
And the lack of social sanction is because of Rahu's conjunction.
Yes, Moon and Rahu was fighting. So initially it was accepted partially. FBI, of course, had to spend a lot of time in that ashram. They did their reports, and then he had to leave. Then finally, no country would allow him to land anywhere. So he was just flying the globe, trying to find a place to land. He found some place after some time.
He came back to Pune, didn't he?
No, wasn't allowed. I think he did leave his body in Pune, but no, he wasn't allowed to start his ashram there. Or continue for that matter. They didn't want him to land. There was no law about whether he could be there or not, but they said, no, cannot be here. Military is waiting in the airport saying, you cannot be here. We will shoot on sight if you come out of your plane. So he could land, refuel and continue. For that you'd prefer to have an Airbus, right?
And he was heavily prosecuted or not? He had legal
Because of the
proceedings
nature
or,
of his work, it was hard to prosecute him. But the government simply said no.
No, of course, he was convicted in the
He
US.
was convicted in the
He was
US?
convicted in the US of immigration violation, and was convicted of, I think, 5 years in jail, and then he was deported from the US on this so-called immigration charge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They just wanted him out of the country.
Yeah.
But that's because in his ashram, they had some of the women. They later find out that they had been poisoning people in the
Yes.
city
Yes.
because they wanted to win a municipal election so they could expand the ashram. and it finally came back to him at the end, and I believe he actually, I think, and that's what I was told, that he did return to Pune and left his body not long after.
Yeah.
And some believe it was because of poisoning, but that we don't know.
Okay.
But he was also addicted to painkillers, most people are saying,
Yeah. See.
Shami's addictions.
due to heavy pains.
Yeah. That we'll see from Rashi also to confirm. Some Shani associated with 6th house.
Sun Rahu.
Shani.
Sun Rahu.
Not here.
We'll get to that. Okay. So, Sutra 129. Atra
Atra.
Jala Shri Shapa
Jala Shri Shapa.
Stanyahanischa.
Stanyahanischa.
Now, Atra A is 0. Ra is 2. Okay. Now, we reverse this, get 20, remove multiples of 12, we get 8. So, Scorpio or 8th house. Scorpio Navamsha indicates trouble from watery diseases, reptiles and snakes. This is the first word, Jala Shri Shapa. Besides indicated shortage of mother's milk. Stanya Hanischa. Stanya indicates the breast milk. Hani means without, devoid, without having. So, planets in Scorpio Navamsa can make one devoid of having mother's milk. If we see this chart, this is a chart of a baby. The Lord of the Lagna is in Scorpio. Where's Atmakaraka? Atmakaraka is Mars. And we also see there's a Ketu moon parivartana here, right? So there's a very strong link between this Lagna and Scorpio. Normally we say if a child is born with Scorpio Navamsha Lagna, there's a risk that they may not be able to get the milk from the mother's milk. So in this case, it's the Lagna Lord which is gone there and there's a Parivartana. So it's like Scorpio being on Lagna and Cancer being in the 5th house. It's similar.
Moon being in the 5th house, right?
Yeah, Moon is still in 5th house and Ketu still in Lagna. But it's like Cancer being in 5th house and Scorpio being on Lagna. Okay?
Can I just ask, it's like Cancer with Moon being in 5th and Scorpio with Ketu being in Lagna, right?
Yeah. Further we find the other Lord of Scorpio is Mars. And it's joined Atmakaraka, isn't it? Mars is Atmakaraka. So, we know that the Lord of the Atmakaraka sign, or the Atmakaraka sign itself, the first house from Atmakaraka, when having some link to any sign can cause a problem there. So this Lagna Lord, or this Lagna, having the effects of Scorpio, is directly linked to the Atmakaraka, which can cause a very serious issue, very serious health issue. Alright? To add to that, this Rahu which is over here is in 4th house from the moon. So the Lord Rahu is involved again. 4th house from the moon.
Bless you.
Now, bless you. 4th house from the moon is lorded by Rahu and Saturn, and of which Rahu is again joined the Atmakaraka. So we have a link. Scorpio with the Lagna, Mars associated with Scorpio, 4th house from moon associated with the Atmakaraka. This is tough, eh? This doesn't look so good. Even, just to add,
6 and 8
from,
Atmakaraka.
what about them?
6 Saturn.
Saturn. So how, is this
From
linked to Scorpio?
Atmakaraka.
Is this linked to Scorpio?
No, from Atmakaraka.
Yeah, but it's 6 they're from. But how about Scorpio? No.
H.
8 they're from?
No.
It's not linked to Scorpio.
Saturn H from Scorpio.
Saturn is an 8 from, that's, if you said that the 4th house from moon is somehow otherwise linked to Scorpio, okay, but it's not in Scorpio, linked to Scorpio. So as soon as the child was born, they found some issues. The child had some issues, so they decided, okay, we should take him out. And they kept him away from his mother and father because they wanted to put him in an incubator and help him out. The birth occurred in Saturn Dasa, Rahu Anta Dasa. So this Rahu got activated immediately. And the baby was in dire straits due to delay in delivery. Saturn normally indicates delays. Rahu Ketu on the Navamsha Lagna can indicate that they have to use force to get the baby out. Lack of oxygen for the brain, Rahu. And naturally could not feed from the mother. The child did die because of this. So, the Navamsha Lagna does have a significant impact on the person's longevity. Herein, you should especially look for, if a child is born, you check Scorpio first. This is the one you're looking for. There may be issues in the Rashi. Check also Navamsha. Is there anything in Scorpio? If there is in Scorpio, the child will not get the mother's milk. And in fact, that is what the child needs. Now, there are some obvious reasons for why the doctors could not ensure that that happened. But the child's biggest benefit when they start their life is in the mother's milk. It's very important. We've also proven today there are some nutrients in the mother's milk which you cannot get elsewhere. Okay? It is therefore also of great benefit to children to have mother's milk. There are many mothers who are choosing not to give their child. If they cannot, then okay. That's a physical issue, what to do. But they're choosing not to, which is unfortunate. It's all related to Scorpio. It need not be a bad thing also if the child is deprived of this. But as you see here, there is a significant problem. The fourth house for moon is Rahu join Atmakaraka. And this Atmakaraka is linked to Scorpio also. So there's a big problem coming. Did you get this?
So, did you take Scorpio causing these problems because of affliction of moon's debilitation in this Rashi?
Moon's debilitation in this Rashi, sort of. Let me spin this by you, okay? Let's say you see a chart, and you see that the fourth house for moon, which is indicating health,
Okay.
is linked to Atmakaraka. That means there is a very serious health problem coming up. And you see that it's a Rahu Mars problem. Rahu Mars indicates some accident, something which was not supposed to happen.
Okay, but why
That means
would
it's very violent what's happening to the body. And on top of that, you see that the Atmakaraka is linked to Scorpio.
But why would Atmakaraka cause these problems? Itself, Lord of Atmakaraka, or lording or fourth bhava from moon.
I don't
What
understand.
is the reason? What
Why
is-
the Atmakaraka?
Why Atmakaraka lording or linked to Lord of fourth
Because the first house from Atmakaraka always causes problems. First, 6th and 8th. We're coming back to that root principle.
Yes, I thought it was just 6th, 8th causing problems and
Also first house from Atmakaraka. Even the sign it is in causes problems.
It is too difficult to predict something like
No, I would not start with Navamsha. This is only confirming some issues. Okay? But let me do this step by step so you can see it. Maybe you can find this as a means to analyze health in a chart. To protect the body, you need fourth house from moon. Okay? So either Rahu or Saturn. Rahu or Saturn. Saturn is in Gemini. It's not a major issue. Rahu is with Atmakaraka. Major issue. You should say, oh, wait a minute. You have to look at this. And also, this yoga with Atmakaraka is not nice. It's Rahu Mars,
No.
accident. So then you should say, okay, there's an accident coming to the body.
What kind of accident happened, do you know?
Actually, in
should
this
have-
case, it was during the delivery. It took too long. And the child was without air. Rahu, suffocation. You can infer the cord was around. Something was suffocating the child. Okay? But this doesn't have to be during birth. All you're seeing is there's an accident related to health. That's all you've seen now. How do you know it's related to birth? Only if this is linked to the Lagna.
And it is.
Only if this is linked to the Lagna will it be at birth. So, how is it linked to Lagna?
suspecting it.
Aspecting will not do it. Parivartana. Where is the Parivartana? Mars
and Moon.
with
Moon.
Ketu and Moon. But watch it. We've just said fourth from moon and fourth from moon joined Atmakaraka. I'm very basic, you know. I really like, I wait, I study properly. This is linked to Lagna how? We see that the link to Lagna is not direct because we see that Mars is lording 10th house and Mars is lording 5th house. But hey, moon is the Lagna lord in 5th house. There's a link to the Lagna. Now you see it? None of these Rahu Mars are lording Lagna. Mars is lording 10th house, Mars is lording 5th house, Rahu is lording 8th house, sorry. No link to Lagna clearly. But it is, the only link is here. Because the moon is lord of Lagna here. Then you see, okay, there is a link to Lagna, and that link is through Scorpio. Then you know that this Scorpio is going to be the cause. It's going to happen at birth, and Scorpio will be the cause. So birth and Scorpio. Birth and Scorpio means no mother's milk.
So can we say as a conclusion?
If I may just add, what if I found that there was a link to Atmakaraka and the Lagna through Virgo? Then it's no longer a problem with mother's milk. Then it's a fire which occurs at birth. For example, let's assume moon was over here, and Rahu can lord, or if Mercury was the lord over placed here. Then it would be a fire at birth. You see that? Very rudimentary. You should be sitting here and thinking and asking yourself questions. Okay, how is this? Oh, this is a problem. Okay, is this linked to Lagna? Not direct. Oh, wait a minute, what's this? Lagna Lord. Ah, there's a link to the Lagna. Now it will happen at birth. Okay, what is happening at birth? Scorpio. That's the problem. Ask. What do you want to ask?
No, I don't want to ask, just
Yes.
my decision. Moon is indicating 0 and 1 year's time
Yes.
also, and maybe this is Atma decision.
Yes, it is an
To die
Atma
like
problem.
this.
It's an Atma problem.
To die
yes.
like this.
Yes, yes. I'll have to confirm that from Rashi, but yes, can say that. Good. Anything to add?
Could you, if the, let's say it wasn't the moon, but it was like, it would have been Rahu instead, like would it then have been a poison, or because they gave the child something wrong? In
If
this-
it was
if
instead
it
of
was-
moon,
It was Rahu, for instance, or like you said.
there is a sign associated with poison. See, I'm deriving lack of mother milk from Scorpio. There are other signs indicated also.
Okay.
But you have a point, yes. Because we did hear Jala Shri Sapa, and Sapa can also mean snakes. Right? So then, if the link to Lagna was not with moon, but let's say from Rahu itself, then it could be some snake, something.
You couldn't go as far as to say poison, it should be.
There is a specific yoga for that, Rahu Sun Yoga. You'll get there. Jaimini actually is very fond of poison, so he has sutras just for poisons. Okay. This is unfortunate. Hold on. Same,
Same.
Vahana,
Vahana.
Du Chacha,
Du Chacha.
Kamat,
Kamat.
Patanam.
Patanam.
So Same, Sai is 7, Ma is 5, reversed in 57, movements also 12, and counts for Sagittarius. Sagittarius Amsha indicates danger from vehicles, etc., and fall from a height. So does this person have anything in Scorpio? Ketu's in Scorpio. Alright,
Done.
Ketu's in Scorpio. Sagittarius. We are looking for Sagittarius, my mistake. Ketu is in Sagittarius. What's up Makaraka in this chart?
Mercury.
Mercury is up Makaraka. Alright. Where's Mercury?
Leo.
Mercury is in Leo. Alright. So, then what? We see that Ketu is in the 5th house from Mercury. What does this indicate? Our dreams?
Dreams.
Yes. So the person could be making a decision about Sagittarius due to dreams, some dream they want to fulfill, something they want to attain. What this Scorpio is a 4th house. from Atmakarka, which Ketu lords. So what is this house? What is this house? What does fourth house from Atmakarka mean?
It's
So-
the way we want to go, the ideals.
Health.
Fourth house from Atmakarka is our delight.
Delights.
From Atmakarka, it's our delight. What we seek comfort or delight in. Alright. Now, this ninth house is supposed to show from Lagna. What?
Protection.
Whom we are protected by. Good. Now from Lagna, what does eighth house show?
Stuff for other people.
Who's giving us suffering?
Who's hurting us? Yes. Yes. So now let us see. Eighth house is also another house significance in relationships. What is that?
It's the maraka of the relationship.
Breaks.
It indicates breakage of a relationship. So this is what happened. She, after spending a lot of time with her husband, the both of them had a lot of success together, she decided to have a divorce. And we see here that she's seeking some delight in having this divorce. Okay? It's because of a comfort issue. She in turn does this to pursue a dream. And by pursuing this dream, which she can only get through the divorce, we find that Sagittarius is getting negative. Because obviously we're divorcing, this is negative, it's not positive anymore. Due to that, following that, immediately following almost, she was flying an airplane. She was one of the first lady pilots. Suddenly in an air show, disappeared in midair. They never found the aircraft nor the body. They never found her. In the middle of a air show, she went into a cloud and through some fog. That's it, they never found her. They don't know where she is, even today. Does this have any link to the houses of longevity?
You're looking at first 6 and 8.
Okay.
It's not from me, nor from Lagna, or from Atmakaraka.
Eighth house from
Lagna only. Lording.
Atmakaraka.
Atmakaraka, you found? What did you find exactly?
No, I'm wrong, sorry.
Mercury is Atmakaraka, right?
Yeah.
So?
Only link that it lords 8 from Lagna.
8 from Lagna, loaded by Ketu. But that indicates the divorce. So we cannot say that's due to health or anything. Okay, 4th from Moon. Taurus and Saturn. No link. Venus is also not linked. 4th house from Lagna. Jupiter is there and his Lord is Moon. Not really. Not really. Unless we say that this Jupiter here, it is the 8th Lord from Atmakaraka placed here. It's afflicted by Rahu and afflicted by Saturn.
How come?
Graha Drishti. Rahu and Saturn.
Rahu. Oh, sorry, I thought you said no.
But Guruji, Gradashi is not a wish, it's something permanent. So
Rashi Drishti is not a wish. It is something permanent.
Yeah, sorry, that was my... Rashi Drishti is permanent, so she must have this Guru problem permanently. Then why did it cost her her life?
How is it permanent? I said Graha Drishti of Rahu and Saturn.
Oh, I thought it was Rashi Drishti.
No, it's Graha Drishti.
No, I misunderstood.
Because this is in 4th house, in a watery sign, and the 8th Lord from Atmakaraka is joined this. The affliction of Saturn and Rahu can give her death in a watery place, a watery grave. Okay? Furthermore, with Mars and Rahu aspecting Sagittarius and Ketu also being there, it does not bode well for the reasons for her air crash. Obviously it's air crash, but this did not kill her. That is why this is not associated with the longevity houses. It's not associated with 4th house from Moon, not with the 4th house from Lagna, not with the 8th or 6th or 1st house from Atmakaraka. It's not in any way.
So if it's Rahu Mangal, does it mean in Mangal there's some technical issues with the plane that
Yes,
it
she
go
was
down?
driving a plane in the 3rd house.
Or was-
Mercury, her Atmakaraka Lord. This Mangal is also lording Navamsha Lagna, and that's probably the cause, and this Ketu is just the final decision. I mean, there
The final error with the plane.
the
the
final
fall.
yes,
The fall.
yes, yes,
Patanam, fall from height.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this is causing a fall from height. But people couldn't find it. They didn't know what happened. Did it explode? What happened? It is drowning. 8th house from Atma Karakas. Lord is in 4th house, afflicted by Saturn Rahu. This is the drowning. The exaltation ensures that it's under deep water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. She is among the greats in aviation history. Very well respected. First lady pilot. She used to take these long flights over the Atlantic, and so on. Very well respected. She was flying near Oxford. She went off course. She bailed out into the James estuary. Although seen alive in the water, a rescue attempt failed, and not only drowned, but her body was lost. They couldn't find the body.
She has also this shani in the 4th from moon, but I don't know if that is some chronic disease or incident or.
We missed only one thing in this chart, really. We only missed one thing. See, the 4th house from Atma Karaka can also show what's happening to the heart chakra. Right?
Mhm.
What?
So, when is the heart chakra failing? When divorce happens. This is odd,
Mhm.
but this is the scenario. Okay?
So if she stayed married, this wouldn't have happened.
You could infer then. Maybe you're the astrologer and you said, okay, there's a problem if she divorces. Okay, we have to figure out some other way.
Can I just, because I understood you, that actions we perform is to be observed from Atma Karaka, and how they impact us to analyze from Navam Shalagna.
Yeah.
So that would be reverse. We should look at 7th and 8th Bhava from Atma Karaka and see their placement from Lagna, right? And here we did quite reverse.
Try to hold on there, because you see what's happening here is,
Maybe I'm
She-
getting it wrong. Okay.
when we say the heart chakra is failing, it means she is seeking comfort elsewhere. How does the heart chakra fail? Oh, Jagannath, I want you to change clothes. Now you must become Kali. Now you must become Ganesha. This is the heart chakra failing. So she has a change of heart. When she has a change of heart, her relationship cannot sustain any longer. When this happens, this accident will happen, because it's in Sagittarius. Okay? As the heart chakra is failing because she wants to pursue a dream. And as a result, the protection from the 9th house is going away. But this is still not showing the demise, truthfully. Because that we still have to see from 4th from moon and 4th from Lagna. Because she did drown. See that? So when I say this...
Something else unleashed the 8th Bhava from Lagna.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Got it. You got it. And a break. Or do you have a question? Break.
But still too difficult.
You need practice. But I'll tell you this. A client comes to you and says, okay, I want to divorce. You look here. 8th house. Oh, 8th house. Where's the 8th house from Atma Karaka? It's in 4th from Atma Karaka. Heart chakra is failing, you say. Okay? And then you tell the client, okay, I must tell you something. There's a risk you could get into an accident if you divorce right away. Please, find some amicable way of going about this. This may not be the right thing for you. Maybe it's not divorce you're seeking. Have you tried and solve the relationship? Maybe you can be separated but not divorced. Things like that.
Or live in an
Okay.
open relationship.
Live in an open relationship, yes. Have you considered that? What could you do about that? I mean, what do you do? The heart chakra will fail if she's asking for divorce. Client comes to you, 8th house question, you see from Atma Karaka. And then you see this, accident may happen. Okay? That is where you should start. This is enough for you to look at. After that, if you want to see how the end will come, then you do that.
It must be one of the worst ways
Can
to
we-
die, though, in like drowning.
Yeah. Can we also say that Venus is the lord of two Maraka houses, 7th and 2nd, and actually it's in the 1st house, so anything related to Venus can can actually induce some kind of vital problem.
I wish it was so simple, but that simply doesn't abide by these principles in our Any other questions so far?